The shadow of the gods.
Okay, so I didn't really set up the video really well when Ben and I were on the Zoom, but as you can see in the title, this is Shadow of the Gods review featuring Ben's Book Cave. Link will be in description if you want to subscribe, but you probably already subscribed to him. So yeah, hope you. Hello and welcome back to the channel. As you can see in the title, this is our review of The Shadow of Gods by John Gwen. This will be a spoiler review, but we will just have quick spoiler-free thoughts. Ben, what did you think? How many stars did you give it? And
I gave it,
yeah,
yeah, I gave it a 5, but like it was one of the lower end of fives, but I saw flaws in it, but I don't think it really affected the quality of it. So I really did like it.
yeah, same. I think I gave it a 4.5. I don't think it was up there 5. But
Mhm.
again, I think there were some flaws, but it was definitely a very good fantasy book. Um,
Mhm.
any other spoiler? It's not really a book you can talk spoiler-free about.
Yeah, that
What's it about? Do you want to say what it's about?
okay, so like the book is kind of following three people, like three different POVs, which I think is really cool because it's like not a bunch of them, like just random throwing POVs. There's only three.
Yeah.
And I think Elvar is kind of like this girl who just I don't really I like Elvar's storyline, but it was very much my least favorite of the three of them.
Yeah,
So like I
I like I didn't like it at the start, but it grew on me as I read
hmm
more.
and what's his name? Varg, I really liked Varg. He was kind of hanging out with the Bloodsworn, and I don't think he was technically a Bloodsworn. He wasn't oath, or was it called? I think he was a Bloodsworn, but he wasn't like sworn in. Is
Almost
that what's happened?
like an intern or whatever. No, he
Yeah,
wasn't thrown in. It's thrown.
yeah.
Wait,
Officially, he
thorn.
wasn't
Yeah.
official.
No, he was
And
just hanging out.
my favorite storyline by far was Orca. Is it Orca? Is that how you say it?
Orca, yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite storyline by far. It was basically, I'm not going to spoil it because we're not doing the spoilers yet, but it's basically her with her husband and kid, and something happens in the storyline which makes it awesome, which is my favorite part of the story.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I think Orca was the best, and there's just a huge plot twist, and it
Mm-hmm.
was her story was so good. Just her revenge plot, and just add on. I think all three POVs are very different stories,
Mm-hmm.
and they do connect at some point. They are all takes place in the same fantasy world, but
Yeah.
the majority of the book is just them on their own stories in this fantasy
Yeah.
world. But there are like historical things that are happening, and they might talk about them in the different POVs.
Yeah. It's clear that they're the same world, but there's not a lot of major connections until well the very end. But like I'm not gonna say it now.
Yeah, but you can definitely see there will be like they will
Yeah.
probably be together in by the end of the series. They all will be
Yeah.
probably.
You can
Yeah.
tell this was a setup book setting up each of their storylines and then putting them together in the next book, which I'm really excited for.
Yeah, same, exactly. Do you have any more spoiler-free thoughts? There's not much to say. The cover looks amazing. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
the cover, and I really love the scene that the cover takes place with Elvar, and like I just think it was awesome. And I was like, whenever I read the scene, I was looking at the cover, and the cover's so awesome. I don't know how the second book is gonna match it,
yeah,
but like I can imagine it's gonna be awesome because it's gotta like match.
yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's a really good cover.
It's also a pretty cheap book because they decided to sell it in paperback, which I was very happy about that decision.
I think Orbit does that a lot. Like Tor always goes straight to hardback, but I think there's only a couple books that go to hardback. But First Law is Orbit; they're all paperback, and then the Malice books they're all paperback. So Orbit likes to do a lot of paperbacks.
Well, I think more people will buy a paperback. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people that
Mhm.
will wait like a year just to have the paperback. But yeah,
Yeah.
it says on the back, I think Norse mythology or something like that.
Oh, I can tell it. I can tell there's influences because I really love Norse mythology, and
But
I
I
can.
thought there's gonna be like gods like Loki and Thor. There isn't. There's
Oh
not
yeah,
like the
it
classic Norse mythology.
it's not like Magnus Chase where it's gonna be like literally based off of it, but it's
Yeah,
gonna you can tell there's Vikings and like I think the Bloodsworn kind of mimic the Vikings a lot,
yeah, I agree. I agree.
which I think is awesome. But like I really like how it's inspired. that's what happened with Malice too. Malice was kind of like Celtic inspired. It wasn't based on the mythology, but you can tell their kind of culture in the books, which I really loved.
Yeah, I never searched up, but I didn't know. Maybe these gods are real that they talk about in the book.
I can never tell.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
The title also I really like, The Shadow of the Gods. As you read more, you learn that the gods are gone, and it literally is the shadow of the gods. Everyone's thinking about them. Yeah.
Isn't what they said in the back of the book? It said, all three will change the course of the world as it once more falls under the shadow of the gods. That's the last line of the back of the book, and I really love that.
Yeah, same. Okay, I guess we spieled on about spoiler free for a long time, so let's get into spoilers. If you've not read the book, please leave. Come back once you read it. Obviously you've heard us that it is a really good book, and I recommend it. So yeah, let's spoiler free thoughts. What's your first spoiler free thoughts?
Spoiler free or spoiler?
Sorry, spoiler.
Yeah. Well, I think my first spoiler free thoughts would have to be about Orca, which I really loved how, like, instead of just saying, oh, this person is like mad because someone stole her child, they gave you like 100 to 200 pages knowing Brecca, knowing Thorkel, and then you thought you were gonna spend the whole book with them.
Yeah.
And then once that one scene happened, it made me mad, just as it made Orca mad. And I can tell, and I feel like that was a really good decision to make. If I was John Gwynne, that was a great decision to have done.
Yeah, because I was texting you about how, like, the whole main theme is like family, and I was like, wow, like they're gonna go to the end, they're gonna fight together as a family.
Yeah.
But no, the big plot twist is Brecca is taken and Thorkel dies. I like that setup time. I wouldn't have liked that in the first like 50 pages, because I like how you get to know Thorkel and Brecca, and you love those characters. At the start, when it said like Orca, you couldn't really tell that it was in the perspective of Orca, but
it was like the family.
After the family got split apart, it definitely was Orca's story.
I remember I texted you. You said, "Oh, I think this book is a theme about family." And at that point, I was like, 50 pages ahead of you, and I'm like, "Okay, just keep reading."
20 more pages. The family's done.
I didn't want to spoil it for you. I'm like, but that kind of ends.
Yeah. So I guess we could go to the same thing, family, with Elvar. Elvar's main story is that she doesn't want to be given the glory. She wants to receive it. She wants to fight for it. I think that's a good theme to it. And yeah, what do you think about that?
Mm-hmm. I liked her storyline. I enjoyed it, but like I think one of the things with a 3-person storyline, there's one person that you're gonna feel like not as connected to, and I think it handled it well, because in Malice there was one character I didn't hate him. It's just there were so many other storylines, like, okay, come on, skip, like I felt like I wanted to do that, but this one, it wasn't as severe, which I think is more balanced. But I really didn't connect with Elvar as much, even though I did enjoy her storyline, and I really liked her scene, like whenever she fights a troll. That was pretty funny. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
And I really just think it was a good storyline, but I didn't really enjoy it as much.
Yeah, same. I guess we can move on to Varg. I thought, so obviously we both think that's our second favorite story. I really liked his like revenge or avenge. I think like he wants to do the spell. Like he has to become a Bloodstorm to be able to do the spell, and the spell is to is it who killed his sister? Is that what I remember?
So. I think it still a lot of it was a mystery, because I think that's the first book. There's a lot to be revealed, and I think that's what he wanted. But still, I feel like a lot of his past, even though we know his sister died, we know a lot of his past. There's still so much, because he started the book on the run, and later we knew that he was like a farmer originally, kind of like that.
Yes.
And I just feel like, but like I feel like it started the book, we knew nothing about him, and then we kind of learned more about him slowly. But like I think it's cool.
Yeah. The thralls, is that like, that's a slave, right? That's what I
I'm pretty sure.
Like, I imagine like the people in Mistborn. I forget what they're called. Read that book a few months ago. The Ska. Yeah, exactly. I imagine them like that. Okay.
Okay.
One thing that I really thought might have brought the book down, or depends how you think about it. There were a lot of characters to remember. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I mean, I read Wheel of Time, so I'm used to it, but I could see that is a lot of characters to memorize. And there was just a lot to, like, it threw at you a lot, even though there was only 3. I did think it was cool that, like, not all of them had POV chapters, because, like, in Malice, like, just did, like, have, like, 5, 6, 7 POV chapters in the whole book, and I like it how it's just stuck to 3, but I think he did go a little crazy with the characters.
Yeah, because there's like a dozen in the Bloodsworn, and then Elverso family, and the Battlegrim group.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Varg. Oh no, I already said Varg. Orca. I guess Orca is just by herself.
Yeah, mostly, and with the 2 kids, what are, like, Mord and Lif.
Yeah. Let's talk about those. I really like Mord and Leaf.
I love those. Those were, like, some really cool characters because they were helping Orca because, like, their dad had, like, died in, like, one of the battles that that was still when Brekka and Thorkel were there, but, like, they had died in one of the battles, and once Orca loses Thorkel, which I still think is the funniest name, I can't get over it, but like, once he does that, like, kind of Mord and Lif come back because they both have lost people, and I feel like they connected really well, even though, like, I thought they were pretty funny. I really like this.
Yeah, they're both on their own revenge plot, kind of. I guess.
Yeah,
Orca's
because, like,
not really revenge, because she's not.
yeah, I mean, Orca. I mean, she's clearly mad that she lost.
Well, I guess she is revenging because she's going after Brekka's Steelers, and the Steelers killed Thorkel. So I guess it is kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of a retrieve and rescue story than revenge, but it was kind of a little bit of both, which was cool.
Yeah. I guess let's go straight to the end and talk about that last epic scene that the cover is describing. That was probably my favorite scene. That was insane.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think the epicness of that scene was cool. Like, the novelty was like, holy cow, there's a dragon right here.
Yeah.
You know, I really love that. Like, I the storyline was cool, obviously, but, like, really, like, there's a huge dragon, and I thought it was kind of funny because they rarely mention the word dragon. They maybe mention the word dragon like 3 times in the book until the end, where there's a massive dragon.
Yeah.
Just right there.
I like how, like, the setup too, because the dragon is Leek Rifa or something. I think her name is.
I think so.
And I like the setup of was it Elva? I think maybe it was Thorkel telling Brekka about the Leek Rifa and how, like, just the old stories, and I really
and then
set up to that.
And then it kind of comes to life because, like, yeah, at the very start there was, like, what's his name, Thorkel was telling Brekka some, like, fairy tales, or, like, yeah, basically their equivalent of fairy tales.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
And, like, and then it kind of showed up at the end.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's not the Shadow of the Gods anymore because a real god is in the world. Do you have any theories for the second book?
I'm a terrible theory guy, but, like, I don't know, like, I'm awful at those kind of stuff, but, like, I really hope that they all travel together. I don't think that's a theory, because at the very end of the book, like, even past that last scene, kind of
the last chapter,
like, because Varg met Orca,
yeah,
and, like, and she was obviously devastated at the very end of the book, and I was devastated for her. And then they meet Varg, who I really loved just following this whole book. I loved Varg's scene. My favorite scene of Varg was when he bit the guy. What's his name? Elvar Half-Troll. That was a funny scene. I was laughing so hard because he just bit him.
Yeah.
And he was limping, and then they were just friends at the end. Yeah. And, like, I just found that hilarious.
Same.
And, like, also kind of stuff with the animal companions. They all talked, which is funny.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was not in the Faithful and the Fallen. Like, the animal companions are, like, basically as close to normal animals as possible. I just found it funny because he had that Brekka had that animal that he had,
the tenor, I think.
Yeah, that talked, and then the spurt that was protecting them. Like, the spurt was trying to protect them whenever they attacked Thorkel and Brekka, which I thought was so funny. And I thought the built Brekka's character because he wanted to take in that tenor that 8 teeth, which was I just found just, like, it was, like, so, like, whimsical at times because the animals were just talking to you.
Yeah.
But also very grimdark at points. That the fight scenes were, like, pretty grimdark.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just about to say that it feels really weird because there's a balance of of almost as like Alice in Wonderland, of the trees talking, of like the Freya, I think they're called. And then you have these like cute little animals, dragon animals that talk. And then you have these huge battles where someone is biting each other's legs, and Thorkel's like on the ground bleeding. And I would like, that would be horrifying to see in like a TV show. All the after battle, and then you have this tree who talks. Like, wow, fun.
Yeah, it's such like a mixed bag of like there's moments where you're like really happy, and there's moments when you're just really sad.
Yeah, like I can't imagine the dragon on the cover, like just like talking, like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah, that's what you said like originally, like really early on.
Yeah, I said the dragon has like a British accent. Top of the morning, yeah. Gonna fight some dragons. What else was I gonna say? Oh, theories. I think theory. Do you think Leek Rifa, I think her name is she's obviously gonna be mad, right? She's gonna go have on a killing spree, right? Gonna be
the happiest, yeah.
Gonna be like the bad guy of the series.
I mean, yeah, I like it. I like the theory a lot because obviously she can't be too happy, like, you know.
No.
And I feel like it's gonna provide some great conflict, and I'm gonna be super happy to see all the characters who we spent hundreds of pages getting to know finally fighting. I feel like that was kind of like, this book was all kind of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like having their individual little movies with a little bit of tie-in, but basically individual movies. And one movie where they all come together, and I think that would be a good villain, you know, to fight.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think there's any more gods that are hiding, or do you think Leek Rifa is the last one? I think it would be a good plot twist that there'd actually be another god that might be the good one.
I would assume so, yeah, because like I think there's probably gonna be more. I don't really think that they can honestly fight a god, like actually successfully fight a god without another one. But that I would assume, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah. This has already been a long video. So any last remarks on this book? I can't wait for the second one, which it's at the end of the book. It says a book a year, or not at the end of the book. I think in people's reviews. I think Daniel Green on his interview or whatever. I think it comes out in May. Are you gonna get it right when it comes out?
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah, same.
I think. I think we're. Do you want a buddy read? I think we said we agreed on buddy reading that one too. But I'm super excited just for the cover reveal, because like has a big, like it has a big something to live up to.
Yeah, I feel the cover really matches the book. Like you can, it matches so well.
And one last remark is what I mentioned to you. Like, there's a trope I really didn't like in this book is whenever like a couple times you think someone's gonna die and he says something big, like then it fades to black, and then he just wakes up really hurt in the next scene.
Yeah,
which is that's one trope I noticed a lot more, like 4 or 5 times just happens to people, and that was one trope that bothered me, but it really didn't take down my enjoyment of the book.
Yeah, another plus is the chapters are super short. There's like over 50 chapters, which is insane.
Oh yeah, it's even shorter in Faithful and Fallen. It's like half a page.
Jeez. Well, we will have a review for this in the future.
Yeah.
In next year. So yeah, thanks Ben for coming on my channel. I hope you.
No problem. It was awesome.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review of The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwen. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.